In a day and age where we have all become so programmed to be hyper aware of how we're perceived and thinking we need to change something about ourselves to fit a certain mold, I'm here to be the one to tell you that scientifically, the key to get everything you want in life is to be completely authentically you. Of course, it's cliche advice that we've all gotten to be ourselves, but when at the same time, life is convincing us that we need to not be ourselves. And in life, I'm sure we've all experienced people that are so committed to misunderstanding us, and you just need to forget about those people, kick them to the corner, and listen to everything I'm about to say. First of all, I'm the biggest advocate for being your complete authentic self. I think the people that are meant for you will come to you by you being yourself, and by being yourself, you will never have to put on a front and keep up a facade. It's just you being yourself, and your people will come and the wrong people will leave, etc. But if you've ever felt like you're around people, or when you post online, you feel the need to filter who you are, pretend to be somebody you're not, perform in any sort of way just in hopes of being accepted or liked by a certain group of people or by the general audience. It's extremely common, obviously, but it's also the most detrimental thing you can do for the quality of your life. Because that authentic version of you, who you're afraid to be, is actually the person who can unlock every single desire, every single dream that you could possibly want. They have the power to do that. And you're stopping them by not being that version of yourself. I'm going to break this into 4 parts, encompassing both psychology and neuroscience. Part 1 is the psychology of hiding. When you abandon parts of yourself to fit in, your brain is going to perceive that as a threat. It's going to think that you're in danger because you're not being your authentic self. And it's going to think that there's a reason why you can't be your authentic self, which then activates your amygdala, which we know triggers your fight or flight, which is your stress response, obviously the way you handle situations. And psychologically, over time, this builds chronic self-doubt, anxiety, and low confidence, which obviously we know affects the way we approach our day-to-day and show up in life. And because of this low confidence, subconsciously you're telling yourself deep down that it's not safe to be you. And living in a state of performance is draining, and it actually makes you lose touch with who you authentically are, which is why doing things like people pleasing or acting a certain way for a certain group of people leaves you feeling drained, because you're energetically literally out of alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. But when over time you train yourself to always show up as your authentic self, say what feels right, act the way that feels right, be who you are when it feels right, and just embracing your quirks, your truth, your passions, absolutely everything, even if it's a little bit every day, you activate your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that's responsible for self-expression, decision-making, long-term planning, etc. And being real actually releases dopamine and oxytocin, which are the feel-good chemicals in your body. These chemicals are tied to joy, connection, and confidence. And that's why being yourself just makes you feel good as a whole. You can show up in the world knowing that just being yourself will make you feel all the right ways inside of you. It creates a positive feedback loop in your brain and in your body, which is basically a system of the more real you are, the more your brain rewards you for it. And as we know, our brains have complete control of the life we experience and live, which is why neuroplasticity and manifestation go hand in hand, which is why being your authentic self can help you manifest everything. So the more you show up every day as your authentic self, the more you strengthen the neural pathways that result in you receiving everything you truly desire. But you need to be your authentic self to receive your authentic desires. You get where I'm going with this. As we know, this is neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to rewire and change. So your brain will begin to filter to match your truth, not the persona you're trying to put on. This is where your reticular activating system comes into play, which helps you notice the things that you're putting your attention on. So the things that your authentic thoughts are thinking about, people, opportunities, etc., that is what will come to light, and you will be shown more of in your external reality. You ultimately don't attract more by pretending, you attract more by aligning with your complete authentic self. And as a whole, positive psychology shows that the only way you can reach your ultimate quality of life is by being yourself and allowing yourself to experience life as you're meant to be through who you actually are, through your personality, through every quirk and nook in your brain and every little aspect of you that makes you you. There is a reason why we were all made the way we were, our personalities we have, the way we talk, the way we dress, everything about us, our interests. I always say there's no such thing as a coincidence. We are the way we are for a reason. So why are you going to deter from that reason and pretend to be something you're not? This illusion we're all in that we need to chase perfection is such a lie. We're being fed lies because really the only way to be happy is by chasing what lights you up, not a fake persona of what you think will light you up or light others up. I just really admire people who can wholeheartedly be themselves, no shame in it. I think you have so much integrity to do that. And I could tell that the people that are most authentically themselves have the best quality of life because they're not trying to do anything for anyone. They're just doing it for themselves. Life is about forgetting about validation. The only validation you need is for yourself. Internal validation, forget the external, and peace will follow along with that. Please stop trying to hide or change the parts of you that you think need to be changed or hidden. I promise you that your people are out there and will love you for those things that you think are unlovable, unacceptable. Somebody's gonna eat them up. There is no better version of you. There's only a real authentic version of you, and that is the best version of you. So show up in the world being your complete authentic self, and everything's gonna fall into place because of it.